Carter's excited because of the podcast. He doesn't have to work today.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And he has
it's an excused absence.
Yes. And he has been working in the plumbing company this summer.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Learn a trade, man.
Yes.
Learn a trade.
He said the other day he came home and said, I said, how was he? He's like, well, the first guy I was riding with, he got a text from his girlfriend that she was pregnant. And so he left halfway through the day. So they stuck me with another guy. And he told me he's impregnated 2 different women.
They're very interesting.
Is that part of the training or
lots of character?
Get closer.
Yeah, you want to be able to hear yourself.
Yeah. You got to hear yourself.
Okay. Well, on a very special episode of Busy Smalls today, tell us about it.
Well, one is my anniversary. So
happy anniversary. How many years?
Happy anniversary.
21 years.
21 years.
Yes.
Congrats.
So, yep. Shout out to my wife, Laurie, for 21 years.
Oh, she should be here.
She should.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mom.
Yep. And this is your grandmother.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's who do we have?
This is our first. This is our first multi-generational episode.
Yeah. Can we get an introduction?
Yeah. So,
please.
My mother, Leslie, Laverne, Dickie Allen.
Oh, mercy.
Leslie Laverne.
So, yep, she's from the Dickey family in Oil City, and then my oldest son Carter is here.
Carter, what's your middle name?
Paul.
Carter Paul.
Like
Carter
from
Paul.
the Bible.
Oh, was that the influence, Paul, or is it?
My middle
Simon,
name is
or?
Paul. My middle name is Paul. So
Okay, probably the Bible.
Paul Simon. So, hey, Joshua would appreciate Carter's his favorite band he's into right now.
Oh, ABBA.
Oh, wow!
I listened to them on the way here.
Did you really? Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Have you listened to them
The
much?
Swedish hit makers, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Beautiful ladies.
Yeah.
Beautiful songs, beautiful melodies, though. The melodies are just hard to beat. Mm-hmm. Holy cow, they're so good.
Yeah. Maybe,
So there you go.
Maybe a cover it.
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
All right.
Good. So, Dancing Queen.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, by the way?
Oh, well, I like all the songs from the Voulez-Vous album.
Okay. This is a diehard. It's really going in.
Yeah, he is.
I'm more of a deep cuts ABBA guy. Most people just like the hits. Not me, buddy. Not me.
Yeah. The stuff you don't hear at the concert.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, those B-sides.
Yeah. So, we like to have on guests that have really big social media presence and influence. And so, Carter, how many followers do you have?
Well, all of them are from my school.
Okay.
Well, it's the only social media I have is YouTube.
Okay.
So I have like 7 subscribers.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
7.
Keep going, buddy. Monetization is right around the corner. That's right. You don't have to go to the plumbing company anymore after that.
Yes, just content.
That's right. Now, you know what would work? Plumbing content. Think about the guys you've been on the road with. I mean, that would be compelling watch.
That would be.
If you got an impregnation every episode, holy cow. The ratings are through the roof.
Yeah. Then, my mom, she's a longtime listener, big fan of the show.
Yes.
She had a career in education, retired at how many years of education?
42.
42 years of education. And
Very nice. I mean, that's a lot of years.
Yes.
That's a lot of years. How did you make it 42 years in education?
How did you?
Well,
and that was with the break in there to take care of us.
I took 6 years off when, or something like that, till all the kids got in kindergarten.
Okay.
And went to school. Then I went back to teaching.
Yeah.
And went to college a lot of years because we moved a lot, and I had to get certified in different jobs, whatever job I could get. And I went on the move. Sometimes we moved a week after school started. Mm. So I ended up in different ones, and then I got certified for administration so that I could be a principal, but I decided to be a instructional coordinator. That was my last 9 years. Mm-hmm. One of the administrators at Morrisport Elementary.
Yeah.
Great school.
Yeah. So, we focus on business and organizations, and, you definitely were influential in running that school. And, another thing too, I was thinking through this a couple of weeks ago. I had to get my real ID because we were flying. And in order to get a real ID, you have to have your birth certificate, and I couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. So I went and got my birth certificate, and I'm looking at the birth certificate, get a new issued birth certificate, and they have your parents' age on there when you were born. And that was just for like 3 days, it just weirded me out just to think through, because it was saying, I think that it said, let's see. Well, now I can't remember. I think it said that you were 30?
Maybe 29.
29, 30. And Dad was probably 35. But I was just thinking through markers, and I'm like, well, I'm 44. And like, I would just different things I was like, okay, so now how my age difference is to my different kids and different things that happen in life. So it's just very, very, very strange. So, yeah. So, but y'all, another thing that you did was starting churches.
We did. We planted 2 churches.
Which definitely takes an entrepreneurial spirit to do that, right?
Yeah.
What was the most difficult thing about that?
Well, we started both churches. We were there 5 years at both church plants. And
this is before church planting was cool, right? This is
right.
Like in the 70s and 80s.
Right. Yeah. It was. It's when the bus ministry was real popular.
Yeah. And
there is a story there. We moved in a bus to start the first church. And so
moved in a bus.
My husband came home, and we were going to start a church in Louisiana. We didn't know where, and we had no support, but we had a willing heart. And he came home one day and said, I've got it. We're going to move. We're going to buy a school bus. Those that they retire from the parishes and the counties. Mm-hmm. And I rolled my eyes. I said, you got to be kidding. He wasn't kidding. He bought one and brought it home. And we unbolted the seats in the middle and put our furniture in there and started to Louisiana, because the U-Hauls were so expensive. And then we didn't know what we would do with our furniture, because we didn't know where we were going to start the church yet. And so we moved in that school bus, and we had 3 degrees between us, and I had a little baby blue Torino that my dad bought me. So I stayed way behind that big yellow bus, because I didn't want anyone to know that was my stuff on there. And I think I was 20. Maybe when we started the church, I was 26, maybe. But we stayed in someone's brother-in-law, Richard, his lake house, and took some survey trips and ended up in South Louisiana. So Hammond, Louisiana. Yep. Started church there 5 years, and we had no support, and we were both going to work. And I got a job teaching school, and then Larry got a job at a parts place. And then right before we started the church, he says, Leslie, I think the Lord wants me to just work full-time at the church. I said, why didn't I think of that? So anyway, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We just stepped out by faith. We rented a building, and that's how we started. We started in a Seventh-day Baptist church. Bet you never heard of one of those.
Seventh-day Baptist.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
It was a church. It was empty. We cleaned it out. Larry went and met a man. We went that night. We heard about it, met the man. He gave us the keys. Said he was so glad it was going to be a church again. And we cleaned it up, and we started.
It's still going, right?
It is. They changed the name of that one, but it's still going. Some of the original members still there.
Yeah, cool.
And when I contacted them, Facebook, you can learn. I'm friends with a lot of them. They were the bus kids that we picked up on that old International bus that we drove, and to move there. And they are in ministry, and like 4 or 5 of them are in Arkansas. And one is in Illinois, been a pastor's wife 35 years there. Anyway, it's just humbling to hear all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's funny you mentioned being embarrassed with the bus because, one thing Dad would love to do when we were in middle school was pick us up at school in the church van, which, doesn't really get you so many cool points with the popular crowd.
What kind of church van was it?
This would probably be one of the Ford Ecoline, 12 passenger.
Bluish?
We had several colors. We had one I remember was red with a gray stripe down it.
Okay.
We've definitely had the blue ones before, maybe a white one, maybe a brown with a tan accent.
But the church van, I mean, it clearly would say on the side.
It would say at the side.
Yeah.
Pastor Brother Larry Allen.
And children. Huh?
And children.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was always, we would always just, when he was taking us to school, it was better because we'd be like, hey, just drop us off right here at the corner, don't pull in.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's picking us up, we don't know. We're just like looking out to the street, and then, from coming around the corner, I'm like, oh, he's in it again. So, but what's funny is we did, my earliest memories of birthdays were at the church too, at the fellowship hall. And, pastors don't make a lot of money.
Everything we did was at church.
Why couldn't Dad have been one of those mega church pastors where we could have had nice, what I'm saying? The health and wealth.
That's right. Could he had some sneakers? He could have got some nice sneakers.
We were trying to humble you. That's what it was.
Yes.
That's
so
right.
But I remember, we would have the birthday party in the fellowship hall. Mom would make homemade pizza on French bread. And
I did.
Cupcake, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably, thinking back, there's probably way better quality and ingredients than, Pizza Hut would have been. So
we went to Pizza Hut a couple times, but sometimes we go to the park. Y'all want to have it at the park.
Yeah.
And so,
picnic tables.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
I've learned a lot today.
Yes.
About Leighton, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now we have Carter here. And so your experience is going to be a little different, right? He's not coming to get you in the church van. I mean, maybe he could. Maybe.
Well, Carter does not like attention, and so when I had my cars that I had, like the Impala, the '66 Impala, Carter and my wife Laurie would not get in it. They do not like attention, and anywhere you went, people were like asking about the car and all this stuff. So my other kids ate it up. They're like, "Oh yeah, let's go for a ride." Carter would not get in it. So.
What was it about the car?
People just liked it.
Even shoe shopping, it's like we don't want any flair, any color, anything that's going to stand out. Just a basic functional shoe.
Yeah,
will do. Isn't that right?
Well, it's a sensible choice. I think he would have made it better on the van than you.
This guy gets it.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
You would have fit right at home, just hanging out in the van and at the fellowship hall. I think it would have been a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But it is interesting because the way you are raised, it informs so much about who you are, and I think that for Leighton, it's taken this really interesting turn in his life where there's all this entrepreneurial activity and spirit and and I would call him by and large a success in these ventures. And so to go from the background that you all kind of raised him in to where he is today, how do you think that influenced who he has become? Like what do you see there?
Well,
tell us the first time you realized how awesome I was.
I don't think that was a question, but
okay,
but you can take it in that direction if you want.
Well, I think all three kids, because we did move a lot. I think we were in 11 churches, and counting the 2 we planted, and the other one was in New Orleans, I was going to say, and it's doing well. We went back for 40th reunion just a couple of years ago. Have a new church plant. It was gorgeous. But I think all three of my kids are opinionated. They don't always agree on the same thing, but they do have their own opinions.
I call it leadership, but okay.
And I think that they never meet a stranger. They may have been that way when they were younger, but, having to start over and over and over Same thing with me. I taught in 16 schools. So I had to win my stripes over and over. Same thing with them.
Yeah.
They have to get in. And so Leighton kind of took, I wouldn't say the comedy route, but he would make everyone laugh. And he still does. So a lot of fun. But I think that kind of made them who they are.
Yeah.
They all three. One thing that I love about Leighton and his family, and Luke and his family, Lydia and her family, we all go to church together. All 18 of us at Covenant Church every Sunday. So it hadn't always been that way.
Nope.
Because Leighton was in
Texas,
Cedar, Cleveland.
Luke was,
And Luke was in Cedar Hill. Lydia was in Longview. And I was out in the country. I remember one Mother's Day sitting there and everyone had their kids with them. But me, and there I was on that pew by myself, feeling sorry for myself. And, the Lord just impressed me. Would you rather have all your kids who are working and leading in churches come sit by you on Mother's Day? And I said, oh, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm glad for them. I'm proud of them and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I think all of that, even though it was hard on them, I know it was. I prayed every move we made. I prayed that they would not have scars in their life from moving them so much. Because it was hard on me. I know it was hard on them.
Yeah.
Now, when they were younger, it was okay because we would have a goodbye fellowship, telling us goodbye. Maybe they were glad we were leaving, but I don't know. Tell us goodbye. And all the kids got gifts.
Cake.
And then we partied. They celebrated. And then we moved to my husband moved to the very next Sunday. He was in the new church.
We didn't miss a Sunday.
No
Sundays off.
And so wherever it was, even if he had to go early, we would be in the new church. And they would have they used to call it a pounding. I don't know. They'd bring you a pound of everything, food. I don't know. Oh, yeah. But they would have a fellowship and bring us groceries and the kids' gifts. So they kind of liked it. Yeah. But then when they started in junior high and had their friends, it was one time Leighton said he wasn't going.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going. He was, what were you, 7th grade?
8th grade.
And I told Larry, I said, Leighton's not going, so you and the rest of the group can go on, but I'm staying with Leighton because I'm not leaving him behind. Yeah. And so he just said, well, we're going to pray about it, and we did.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We have a good friend, Ross, who knows our family very well, and he's a counselor here in town, and he made a comment to our friend Jason, said, you rarely see a family like our family where all three siblings are very strong in leadership. And we just grew up, we just thought that's what it was, right? And so we were just a family of 5 and all. If we saw a problem, we just went and fixed it. Or if we thought that something wasn't right, we just vocalized it and said, hey, that isn't right. This is how it should be. Right. And that's just kind of what we did. Mm-hmm. And I don't know kind of where that did come from, but it is unique to have 3 siblings, Luke, Lydia, and myself, that are all, pretty
all in leadership at the church too, but in any church they've been in. But I was thinking that when you said that, lost it, it'll come back maybe.
Yeah, we were we were always at small churches, so we were the youth group as well. Yeah. So
the praise band,
and
clean the church
$25.
Oh yeah, have a little job.
Saturday night we cleaned the church. A couple of the churches that we were at had a parsonage, and so we kind of had full access to the facilities all week, so when we were loud, we probably only had one TV in the house, but if we wanted to play Nintendo, they were like, well, just go to the fellowship hall and play in there, so it was pretty nice. Had its perks.
There's some perks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carter doesn't know any about any of that. I had to go to I took him with me to I always say it wrong. Is it El Dorado or El Dorado, Arkansas? It's one of those, but I get corrected every time.
So you just say both of them?
Yeah. So I was going to get a sofa, an antique sofa. This was a couple months ago, and so I took Carter with me. But we had to go through Shongaloo and Haynesville and those areas. And so Carter was just like, I was like, oh, yeah, see, this is where I went to school. This is where, and he's like, Dad, can we just go? Like, it's taking forever.
So, it was.
Yeah.
That was the best school, really. I mean, it was I taught at Shongaloo.
Oh yeah,
and it was 4th grade, and I had
small school. Yeah, we've talked about it. We've talked about it before here on the podcast.
Yeah,
that's where they would
heard it.
That's where they would spank you in the hallway, just pull you out of class, whoop you.
And that's the principal I had. Yeah. But it was cool because it was just such a small class. It was a perfect job.
Yeah.
I just didn't stay there long enough.
Yep.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that answered your question about how he got to where he is. I don't know.
I think it helps me understand a little bit more. I think the moving around is certainly something that is challenging when you're young. And, every once in a while I just joke around with my daughter. I'll say like, hey, we're just going to send you to a different school. And school I went to, and she's just like, no, I'll kill you, if you do that. And so it would be very, very challenging, I think, particularly as you get older. And like you said, when you have friends, and now it's just different.
Well, when I married Laurie, one of the very first conversations, Laurie's dad's like, she's lived in the same house her whole life. Like, don't be moving her around all over the place. And it's true. Like when I met her roommates in college were literally the girls that she went to kindergarten with.
Really?
And so definitely different. Definitely different. I threaten the kids sometimes if they're acting up when we're driving to Providence, and I'm like, hey, you see right there, that's the public school. You could go there.
We could do it.
We could do that. And Carter said I would chop my leg off so I wouldn't have to go. That's what he told me one time.
Then you would get plenty of attention, Carter.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I want to hear about Carter. Like, what's you wanted Carter to come on? So what was the thought process? Or you?
I don't know. I think
we talked about your driving some.
We have talked about your driving some. He listened to the podcast episode with the principal at a school, or the headmaster, Howard.
That was good.
So yeah, So Carter is going to be a junior, 2 more years. And what's great about Carter now is he's driving, so he does get to help bring the kids around. And we've already done the math. When he goes to college, we're going to have to chauffeur again for about a year or 2 until our next oldest can drive. So we're already planning. We're already regretting that. Yeah. We should have thought about that.
Should have timed it out a little bit.
Yeah. So Carter, what do you want to do? Is plumbing of interest to you now?
I mean, it's a fallback job.
Oh, fallback.
Way back, huh?
In case everything else doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have him work at Ivy's next summer.
We have an internship program.
Do you?
Well, we could make one.
We can make one.
We can make one.
But it's a small scholarship. Internship.
But what is interesting, Carter, when you talk about plumbing in the trades, HVAC, electrical, all those things, there's so much attention now in those spaces for young people that I think was never there before. There was an idea before, maybe when I was coming up, that, the last thing you wanted to do is work with your hands. And I think that because of technology and the way that things have shifted, now even big money is looking at HVAC and plumbing and electrical and saying, hey, I want to run one of those businesses. And the best way to do that is to learn, from the ground up. And then, you could use that as a springboard to launch, plumbing company, HVAC company, which is these companies are really desirable for like big hedge fund money people now.
Yeah, you have Goldman Sachs and stuff. They're like helping you buy into local
plumbing companies. Yeah, it's crazy how things have changed. And so if I'm you and I'm thinking about the future, look, I think we've got our quota on graphic designers. And I've got several friends who are graphic designers, but it seems like technology, there's a certain part of the market of jobs that technology is just kind of doing away with, right? Or it doesn't seem very sure-footed going forward. Now, there are certain jobs that you would think, well, AI is going to have a tough time changing a toilet out, something like that. Now, maybe they get there, right? But for right now, it seems like one of the smartest things you could do, it's like, hey, do you want to go load up with lots and lots of debt in a college to study English literature? Or do you want to bypass that, maybe take a couple of college courses on business, learn a trade, learn it really, really well, and then use a platform as a leader to build a very successful business in this? And I think that that's the opportunity shift that's happened in my lifetime. I never thought this would happen, but we see it all the time.
Yeah. Well, it was trades were kind of like if you're a plumber, it's because your dad and your grandpa were a plumber, right? And it's just kind of like passed down. This is what you did, right. And now it's big business.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. What those businesses are selling for out there, they call it the multiple, which is the multiple of earnings for which you can sell this business. I was seeing out there at one point an HVAC company had sold for like 16 turns, which is obscene amount of money for, a company like that. Why would somebody pay what you would make in 1 year at this company 16 times to buy that business? That is exceptional. So there's a lot of interest in what's going on in that. And so if you do have an inkling there, that's not a bad path. And some 20 years, somebody would have told you, man, you've got to go to college. You've got to, you've got to go into, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer. Still good businesses, by the way. But I think this is just a big change. I mean, it really is. And it's eye-opening for me, and I see it every day. We need people to do this kind of work, right? And so the reason why I think these things are so lucrative for people, the opportunity is there, is because for so many years, people were pushed away from that. They were told to go do something else.
And I think on the forefront of this, the shift we're going through right now with technology and AI is people are saying, this is the biggest leap forward in technology in 30 years or
since
40
the internet.
years. Yeah, since the internet, right? And so then to me, it's going to be who figures out to merge the two the quickest and to capitalize on that.
Sure.
And that's very interesting. And I guess the GPT 5.0 is about to come out sometime this summer. And they're saying it's even a bigger leap from 4.0 to 4.5, which is what we have now. So it's pretty wild. So we haven't talked much about AI. How are y'all using AI?
I use AI probably every day.
As a company or just you as what you
both,
do?
Right? Sometimes I'll have just really, really hard questions that I'll throw at it, or I'll help it to format my communication to make sure that it's that I'm saying everything really clearly. I don't, right now it's just a tool to help you. I know there's a lot of people that are very worried about what it could do or how it could. We've seen the Terminator, right? Scary stuff. But I think right now it's a productivity tool to help you, just be more efficient, just get there quicker. A different opinion. I love that. Sometimes I'll say, hey, I'm thinking about this way. What am I missing? And it'll just spit all these ideas out. So it's been really, really, sometimes it's scary. So I'm going to get on a tangent real quick. I saw what they call prompts, is what you ask the AI. And I saw a prompt that popped up the other day from a real famous guy. And he said, here's the prompt. The prompt is, knowing what you know about me, model out the rest of my life. What's going to happen? And then he was like, don't ever do this. And I was like, well, I have to do it now. So I spit it into the AI.
Yeah.
And I was eating my Chipotle burrito in the car. I got to the end of what it had written, and I'm like, tears are coming out of my eyes. And I'm like, it's over.
Was it good or bad?
It was just this beautiful, if you knew how your life was going to end, and it went decade to decade. It's like, hey, in your 40s, like, here's what's going to happen. And in your 50s, you're going to get to see, here comes a grandchild that comes up, and she's gonna play your songs on vinyl, and it's just this just beautiful thing. And at the end, it talks about your death and all this, and you're just like, I don't think we're supposed to know this.
Well, one thing I always think about AI is it doesn't have a heart.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. It got me. So,
well, we talked about that with Mike McSwain the other day, is that the AI is doing a lot of stuff with architecture, but there's still no soul behind it.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, you can't let it drive.
Yeah.
You can't let it drive.
Yeah. Now I've been doing a lot of research on how we can integrate that in all of my companies. And one of the guys I was listening to, and he said, this really has to be something that's investigated at the top. He said, because you can't task a team member to implement AI into a company that's going to take away their job, right?
Yeah.
So, but we have, and I don't even think I've told you this, but I have a AI call agent for the plumbing company.
That's right. Yeah.
And she's booking calls. and it's pretty crazy.
And it's good.
And we try to we'll sit around the house and try to trip her up. So Carter thinks it's funny.
It's funny, isn't it?
He said, yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's just working. Yeah. Because we were missing Google calls. And because, we're 24/7. So if we miss a Google call, Google bumps us down on our ranking and that hurts us.
Okay.
And so we turn on. So now my guy can go to lunch, take an hour lunch. He doesn't have to worry about answering the phone. And he'll get back to his desk and 5 people have called and she's booked it and gotten addresses and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
pretty crazy. Yeah.
That's wild. And there's going to be more and more of that, right?
Yes.
Just everywhere.
As it perfects. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and I think that the consumer, even if it's noticeable to them, is just kind of going to become more and more normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about this sometimes. So when you call the store right now, you get this voice that comes out and says, hey, thanks for calling, Ivy's or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like when you pull into McDonald's and it's like, hi, welcome to McDonald's, and then that's obviously clearly not the person that's behind the speaker. But at first it bothered me. There's like, well, there's not going to be a human answering the phone. That's not good. Mm-hmm. But nobody cares now that they hear this little recording before they press the button, as opposed to a human that would say, who do you want to talk to? Yeah. So we get over these things pretty quick, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, my kids now, they don't say, well, I'm using AI, but they are, right? My daughter, who can be a little emotional, we get to listen to everything she says to Alexa. And Laurie was looking the other day and she was real emotional at night and she's having a conversation with Alexa about her bad day. Oh, she's like, my day was so bad. And Alexa's like, well, why don't you try to go for a walk or maybe talk to her friend? She's like, I've already tried those things. But I mean, that's right. So,
well, I use AI to generate Clash Royale decks for a video game.
Okay. What's it called?
Clash Royale on the phone.
Oh yeah, Clash Royale.
Yeah,
okay.
you build card decks, but I just ask the AI depending on what arena I'm in, so that because I'm really bad at thinking. Yeah. And I don't want to think. So
do you think that's a form of cheating on the game?
No.
Okay.
Because other people cheat by beating me, so I have to beat them.
There you go.
So I go to the next arena.
Clash Royale. You've played that game?
No, I haven't. But I'm interested from an educator's perspective because I hear my wife in the corner just shaking her head angrily because she's like she's anti-technology in pretty much in most spaces. And for many years I thought that she was wrong, and now I'm slowly coming around to the idea that she's totally right. But for you, from an educator standpoint, what he just said. And the way that you said it was, I don't want to have to think about this thing. I want it to happen. Other people are doing it. To keep up, I need to do this. And look, I get it in a certain sense. You're exactly right. To keep up, you are going to have to use some of these tools. Fundamentally, what is he going to lose to offload some of these mental processes? Or is it anything? Or is it doesn't matter? What do you think?
It's interesting. I haven't used AI very much, so I wouldn't know. But I heard some of the ladies at church talking about doing a resume and putting the things in, and that their resumes were better than anyone's.
Oh, it's great. I had one of my managers had to go to a networking event and give a 10-minute speech. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, man, I wait till the last minute. What should I say? And so I just go to ChatGPT and I say, hey, give me a 10-minute speech based off of this company, www. And I said the website, and literally it spits it out. 1,300 words should last 10 minutes. Oh, and I said, make it funny. Each slide, there were 10 slides. They were all puns. And then it said, would you like me to go ahead and put it in a PowerPoint? And I'm like, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and throw in some of the pictures from the site too? Yeah. And I shot it to him. Within 5 minutes, I had done his 10-minute speech. Yeah. And it's bizarre, right? It is. So, but yeah, I mean, so is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm thinking is what you were saying about you listening to. Alexa's been around a while. Oh, yeah. But about you listen to what your child listens to to see if you think it's appropriate or not.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a whole nother topic. And we talked a lot of that with Clint on the podcast. But yeah, that's but yeah, AI is going to be, I remember being even in education when I was teaching, the big push was the best schools and the best classrooms have the most technology integrated in it. So we were writing grants. Oh, we got to get laptops. We got to get this. In fact, what they would do is if you were a Title I school, is that what they called it? A Title I school, you were gifted. That was like kind of evening the playing field, was giving them more technology than a school that wasn't Title I, right? And what we're finding out now is like that had the opposite effect, right? Is that it was not doing good.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and I wonder, because we talked about the Howard conversation and, you know, the whole orientation at Providence, which is decidedly anti-technology, right? There's not, you don't go there to learn, you know, the newest, latest, and greatest. And Howard's core message is really, I want to teach these children how to think. Because, you know, the machines can think for you. That's easy, right? Like if you tell me, you know, like, what should my favorite blah, blah, blah be? It'll spit it out for you. It's that easy. Yeah. But it's not your cultivation of how to think and how to think critically and how to ask yourself, is what I'm hearing from ChatGPT worthy or unworthy of, you know, of my processes or my thoughts or my heart? I think that is going to be a very critical skill going forward. It's the technology, and together I think it's a good marriage, right? Like if you can approach it with the right foundation of I'm going to use a critical lens, but the technology can be a tool, right? You said, you know, this just doesn't matter that much to me. I don't think it's that important. I want this deck to look this way, so I'm just going to have it spit it out. You know, now, like for me, I love to write songs. I'll get it to like just spit an idea out, and I'll look at it and say, you know, there's something good in here, but I'm going to have to like pick it up and carry it and develop it. And we can do back and forth feedback, and chat will say, oh, that's a beautiful idea. Why don't you bring in this idea? And so it's still up to me to say, this is something that I want to put my stamp on. Right. But it is nice to have the feedback or to be able to kind of short circuit and generate those ideas faster. So there's productivity there, right? But if you were to just offload it and say, I'm only going to write GPT songs, I don't think that's right.
Did you see the article that band getting millions of listens on Spotify?
Oh yes.
Even their pictures, they're not real people.
I know.
Somebody did all of it on ChatGPT.
Bizarre.
Oh my goodness.
Even the picture, like they gave them names and everything. They don't exist.
Yeah, I know.
A million listeners.
I know. It's crazy.
And all of your hard work you've put in for years and years. How many listeners?
I'm going to get to million plays one day. I promise you, but not today. All that to say, though, it is tricky now with where you are. The world's different. You know, between the two of you, this is generational, right? Yeah. We experienced this interesting. We had an analog childhood, and we have a digital adulthood. So we got to have both. I drove a car with no car phone, with no cell phone. I was driving around. My parents let me drive without a cell phone. And how I think about my daughter, I'm like, never. I would never, like, we're going to have a location device on her at all times. But that's not how we grew up, right? And for you, it's just, you're always monitored. You're always tracked. Everybody knows where you are. Everybody knows what you're doing. You know, it's been so different to go from where you are to where you are to where you are here today.
I read an article and I sent it to Carter, but New York Times, I think, did an article on this trend of people getting rid of their smartphones and getting BlackBerries. They called them dumb phones. Is that what they call them? And so I sent that to Carter, and Carter was like, for my birthday, that's what I want.
Yeah, BlackBerries are cool. Why? They have that keyboard.
Yeah.
We had those for a while.
It's like,
I had one of those.
Yeah, it's like throwback. The Palm.
And they have a cooler name than iPhone. Who wants that?
Yeah.
A food.
So maybe there could be this like generational rejection of technology.
I think it's just I think it's going to be a pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's more of a renaissance, like old ideas, just because like there's no more technology, like because like once the iPhone came out, like there wasn't something after that, I guess. They kind of just kept making the same thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the promise of technology is always this idea that your life will get better. right? Your life is going to be easier. It's not going to have as much pain, as much struggles. Like this will solve these problems. And as the technology, this was like, there's more in the iPhone than what went to the rocket, like the first time it went to the moon or whatever.
Yep.
That is categorically false. Like we know now enough to know that this technology is not going to stop you from feeling pain. It's not going to really make your life better. It might make you more efficient. Yeah. But with that said, like you're living proof, like it's made things to a degree worse. There's more anxiety. Social media can have some really negative effects on people, particularly
spending time on the phone.
We get addicted. We are addicted. These companies, Facebook, they're going to do everything they can to keep your face in front of their screen, and they're manipulating you.
Yeah,
and we feel it.
Yeah,
I'm noticing. Well, when I was in education, that a lot of the technology takes a lot of your time because they'll break down.
Oh yeah,
and you have to stop and fix that when this one over here has a question and you're trying to fix the technology and now they're testing on the computers. And so, it depends on really what schools and area you grow up, if you're, better at that and have an advantage on that. So it's always been like you said, the pendulum swings back and forth. So
I want to shift gears. Before we have about 10 minutes left.
I wanted to ask about Carter. I'm playing at the band at church.
Yeah.
And you're on the stage too at church. I like that.
Yeah. Carter's playing piano.
I'm kind of in the shadows, so it's
That's why I wanted to bring that out. Carter to embarrass you. That's why.
Yeah. He still won't play drums in front of anybody.
He won't.
No. He won't even sound check them. If I want sound and say, hey, jump over there, I need to sound check him. He's like, no, there are people in the room.
When he first started playing, he had been taking lessons a few months. I said, well, I want to hear you. And so I went upstairs and he got his keyboard out and played. He said, Grammy, don't record it. Yeah. I said, can I record it just for myself? I promise not to post it. So even back then.
Yeah.
And he's great at what he does.
Oh, yeah. We're excited. We're going to see Primus.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But when this airs, we'll have already gone. But excited about it. Mm-hmm. So let's talk, since this is business podcast, you've spoken at my companies before. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff you shared were some things that you picked up from your dad. My grandpa.
Work ethics.
Yep. Tatal is what we called him.
He did.
Tatal.
Okay.
John Charles Dickey Sr.
Not named with an L, surprisingly.
No.
No, that's all our family.
So anyways, he, my early memories were when I remember him, he was the mayor of Oil City.
16 years.
He had a pawn shop.
He did.
He had
some properties.
Yeah, I vaguely remember riding in the truck with him, driving around picking up rent money, some like trailers and stuff like that.
He did.
And then and now my cousin, your niece, is the mayor of Oil City, Cheryl Driscoll. And so tell me that what did you were telling when you were talking to our company, you were talking about just some work ethic and some stuff from your dad. Do you remember any of that you talked about?
Well, my dad, I kind of ended it with what's really unique about learning from him is that he had muscular dystrophy since he was 22, diagnosed when he came out of the Army. And so he kind of shuffled when he walked. But for years, he would say, Leslie, if I could just hold a nail with one hand and hammer the next with the other, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
So he lived with that disability, but it sure didn't stop him.
I don't remember him walking. My earliest memories, he was in a wheelchair.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, that probably wasn't until he was 60, maybe. I don't know. One day he fell and was on the floor a few hours, and so he never walked again after that. But he used to go fishing till his boat capsized. They lived on Caddo Lake, and he had to try to drag it up to the shore. And so he never got in the boat again. But he was pretty amazing. He had a lot of businesses going, had a business mind. He helped people. You never knew who we were going to have at Thanksgiving dinner. Someone Dad picked up that did not have anywhere to go. and he would bring them to us, and you never knew what he was going to do, but he worked, and he taught me that. He said, Leslie, maybe too much. He said, Leslie, you have 24 hours in a day like everyone else. I said, what are you trying to say? You can't do it all. But in fact, he named me Go Leslie because we win all the time. I've slowed down, but I used to have a lot of things going, and I still have a lot of things going.
Yeah.
I invest my time in my grandkids.
Yep. You told me a story one time that I always still laugh at. Your little brother Chip was driving and sold or traded his vehicle for a guitar.
Sounds like Chip.
Yeah, and then he wanted to go into town, so he went to Tatall and said, "Hey, can I borrow your truck to go into town?" He said, "Well, why don't you ride your guitar?"
He did.
So
He did.
yeah. Those are the days.
That's right.
Would you trade a vehicle for a guitar?
I did worse. When I was a kid, my dad made me a deal. He said, anything you invest in the stock market, I'll match it.
Okay.
And so as a kid, I didn't know anything about stocks or whatever. So I got up a little bit of money from the work I was doing, and I invested in one of those Taiwanese semiconductor companies.
Okay.
And of course, he matched it, and I had a little of that stock. This is like 97. Okay.
All right.
So about like NVIDIA now is the biggest market cap ever, And so I had called down the road a few years later, I called the investment guy and I said, "Hey man, I need to buy a guitar amp. Can you please sell that stock?" So that was probably a poor financial choice.
Have you looked to see what that stock's worth? No.
I haven't run the numbers, but who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was Yahoo or Walmart or something like that, it might be a little.
But it would have. That was probably not the best move. Yeah. So I've done a very similar thing, probably worse. Yeah. To be honest.
Well, Carter just got his first paycheck a couple weeks ago. It's funny. I said, "Hey, before you leave, go get your paycheck." And he's like, "Wait, I'm getting paid for this?" After 2 weeks of work,
it's a paid internship.
And then, so they the new Switch came out. And so when Carter gets fixated on something, he doesn't let it go.
My dad does it too.
Yeah. I was going to say, where does he get that from?
So he starts, "Hey, I want this Switch." And we're like, "Okay, well, we'll come up with a plan to save some money." And it's just nonstop. "Hey, this is what the new Switch is. This is this. I just watched this video on the Switch." So anyways, he's trying to get me to pay for this Switch, this $400, $500 video game system. And he gets his first paycheck for like about $450, 2 weeks worth of work. And I said, "Hey, buddy, look at that. You can buy that Switch." And he goes, "I'm not wasting my money on that. I'm saving this."
Wow.
Yeah.
Now he wants you to buy it.
So
still.
I'm the sucker. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he did actually use his money, and that's another thing he does, right? Is if he wants something, he doesn't have enough money, he goes to his siblings who might have some, allowance money or report card money. It's like, "Hey,
they don't need it.
Why don't you go in with me on this?"
He's cutting deals.
Cutting deals.
I like it.
So,
Did they do it?
Yeah, Beckham pitched in. Yeah. So, anyways, we have the Switch now. So,
how is it?
Fun stuff.
We'll go on to the next thing.
I mean, our other Switch was broken, so I just played.
It was okay. It was time.
Yeah, it was time.
Kids can't live without a Switch, man.
No.
What kind of house are you running over there?
So it is fun. We can all play as a family. They can all let me beat him at Mario Kart. All four. Four
He
player.
hasn't won once.
Okay.
Not once. I beat him at least 4 times.
Yeah. All right. We need to sponsor reads.
Let's do it.
I'll pull mine out. So our sponsors for this episode: Priority Roofing, locally owned, family ran business specializing in residential and commercial roofing. My mother here is a customer of Priority Roofing.
Proud customer.
She lives on this very busy corner in Blanchard, and she's on the corner house into a neighborhood, and Blanchard tends to get bad weather every year. And so other roofing companies like to put their sign in her yard without asking.
No.
And that's not allowed. She's like, "Hey,
Give me.
Tell Shay, bring me some signs. They keep putting them in my yard. I need to put Priority Roofing in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
So, so representing there.
Well done.
Priority Roofing, 318-202-2123. Plumber for Hire, locally owned plumbing company specializing in residential commercial plumbing. They like to get the jobs the day of or the next day. There's not a long wait. So give them a call, 318-709-9090. Clint Davis Counseling, helping people make lasting internal change for external growth and success.
Ivy's Building Materials, 3 locations, Halton, Blanchard, and Mansfield. In Blanchard as well.
Blanchard, the newest one.
The newest store in Blanchard. So
Really nice.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you came. So we are locally owned home center. We are a hardware store, paint, plumbing, electrical tools, lawn and garden, but we also do pro lumber. If you want to build a house, if you want to remodel a house, we can help you with that too. We are also now installing doors and windows and flooring. So talk to us about that. We're excited to fire up some of these projects. IvyLumber.com since 1969. 3 generations, just like what you see at this table. So
yes,
there you go.
3 generations.
3 generations.
Carter, is there anything you want to say? Did you break the chair?
No, it was already broken.
Oh, you fixed the chair. You need to come fix this one.
Yeah, the screw fell out.
Anything you want to say before we go?
Oh, buy Priority Roofing.
Okay.
Well said.
Wait,
Busy Smalls?
what?
Do you want to say anything to the Busy Smalls
What's that?
audience?
Audience that you're speaking to.
Oh, y'all are cool.
Yeah.
They are cool.
That sounded heartfelt.
We do have a really cool audience.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. Thank you. You want to say anything?
I will. I was waiting for you to ask me if I had anything to say.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I do enjoy speaking at churches.
Yes, that is your thing now.
Yeah.
Yes, you do serve at our church
I do.
in multiple ways, but women's ministry is your passion.
It is.
Yep.
And I've got to be at, I think, 3 different churches this year. It's not. And I have a Facebook page with I write post. I have 361 followers.
Oh, there you go.
And I've done it 7 years. So not going to get famous, but it's a way to get the word out.
Yeah.
So.
It's good stuff. Awesome. All right. Thanks.
Oh yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Well, what fun things will they see on there?
Plumbers on the road.
There's a bunch of school projects that I have to upload as videos, so you can check those out and guess what the project was.
Okay.
And then also, I think that's all.
We're going to double your followers. Okay. 7 to 14. Do you know your YouTube channel's name? Is it just Carter?
Oh wait, yeah, no, it's the Ides of March.
The Ides of March.
When Julius Caesar died.
Okay. So
and then it's a picture of Julius Caesar dying.
Oh, okay. So now people know.
Yes.
All right. And you want them to leave comments on the video?
Yes.
Yes.
Leave say y'all can actually say come look at this podcast.
Okay. Tag us in it.
So it's a loop, and then I keep getting more and more subscribers.
I like it. I like it. Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.